What are you going to do then?
I'm going to just make sure, keep track of time.
Oh, alright.
Go.
Hey, Jared here at Anime Expo, and I am with the man, the myth, Kyle Hebert. You know him as Ryu in the Street Fighter games, you know him as Kiba in Naruto, and 100, possibly more, other roles.
And counting.
Today we're going to talk to him about his work, his early work, in the Lupin TV specials that were licensed by Funimation back in the late 90s and early 2000s. Kyle, first off, just give us a general overview. What was your experience like working on the Lupin specials?
Well, you know, it's great, you know, coming from Dragon Ball Z, getting to work on another classic franchise. Very exciting opportunity, especially for the Dragon Ball, you know, set of actors, the talent pool, that were very anxious to try and stretch their acting chops. And it's like, what else can we show off? You know, we've gotten Yu Yu Hakusho, we had Blue Gender. Let's okay, let's go back and see what we can do. All right, we didn't get the license to the TV series. You know, they ended up dubbing that in Los Angeles many years after the fact. But Funimation did get a hold of those specials, and we got to have a blast with them. You know, Sonny Strait did a fantastic job, not only voicing Lupin, but directing many of the specials. And you know, it was just great to come in and read for him, because he's a crack up. If you've ever seen any panels with him online or been to any conventions, hysterical guy, and just a blast to work for.
Now, you played a variety of characters, usually a minor character or a villain, in pretty much all of the ones they had licensed. Mm-hmm. Who was the most memorable?
Man, I tell you, you know, there was in Dead or Alive, I did voice the main villain of General Headhunter, and they ended up not crediting me, which was kind of funny, but they miscredited the actor. But I did get to play a female for the first time in my life. Sonny Strait cast me as this huge woman. The character is a woman, but she fights the main girl. What's her name?
Fujiko?
Yeah, Fujiko. Fujiko wrestles this huge steroid person, and the direction from Sonny was to just do a drag queen. So I did, yes. Oh, pretty little thing thinks she can take me down. Oh, I don't think so. So I just did a drag queen, this character. I mean, she had weapons coming out of her bra and everything. It was hysterical. And that small little thing, it's like, okay, I've played a lot of characters. Demons, human, you know, whatever. I've even played a woman.
Not something most male actors can brag about.
Not really, no. I mean, but it's a nice badge of honor that I wear. I haven't gotten to revisit it, so you know, I could say, yeah, that's my connection to the Lupin the Third universe, is getting to voice someone that's not of my gender.
How familiar were you with the franchise before voicing?
Fairly familiar. I hadn't actually seen the TV series or any of it. I knew of its existence and its popularity. I think the only movie at the time that had come out was the Castle of Cagliostro, which had been done several times. And Chris Sabat and the main cast and everything kind of watched that to get a feel of the Lupin the Third universe, since they were starting to get things licensed and everything. And they kind of just went from there. I didn't have the luxury of that. You know, time is money for actors. When we come in, we're a blank slate. We have to depend on the director to tell us what's going on in the story, and that's usually summarized in like 30 seconds or so, and then like, your character does this, and then we're off and running. It's very methodical. It's very like an assembly line. We watch the line in Japanese, and then off we're running, doing it in English, and then if they like it, move on to the next line in sequence.
Wow, that sounds pretty hectic, actually.
It can be a little stressful if you're not used to it, and you know, fortunately I had the Dragon Ball Z experience behind me, so I knew what to expect in terms of looping. You know, each line is called a loop. Whether it's a fight reaction, a sound, or something as basic as some sort of you know fight effort. So that sort of thing, it's broken down, and we're expected to probably get, you know, about 20 to 30 loops an hour. And that's basically how they decide to book us on our sessions. It's like, okay, your character has 200 loops. So they do the math, and it's like, okay, we need you for an hour or 2 hours. Or if you're obviously Lupin or any of the main cast, you're going to get 4 hours or more.
Right.
Yeah.
They had you as several villains, so
Yeah.
got some long sessions in there.
I had some long sessions, and again, you know, getting to work with, well, I worked with Sabbath on Harimao's Treasure. And
One of my favorites.
Yeah, good stuff. I got to play an old man and an angry Nazi. Even though he was on the cover, too. It's like, ooh, I got a cover shot. Gehring, yeah, that was fun. And then, you know, whether it's bit parts or not, you know, I've geeked out about what I get to do for a living. And, you know, if it's an unnamed character, no matter how small in the Lupin the Third universe or a big antagonist, it's so much fun. And it means a lot that, you know, I know Lupin the Third has a huge fan base, even though I myself have not seen a lot of it. You know, the movies, or the specials, or the TV series, it helps me step up my game. I know that there is a lot at stake. I don't want there to be comparisons saying, oh, well, you know, they kind of just blew it, they just kind of rushed through it. I wear it with pride that I could be attached to a show that means a lot to a lot of people, even though myself, my exposure's been minimal.
Well, having said that, what was your favorite project to work on?
Out of all those Lupin, man, you know, probably General Headhunter, you know, Dead or Alive. Mm-hmm. We had long sessions. I got to kind of work very, you know, a wide variety. As I said, I voiced a woman in that, in a big fight scene. I voiced the main villain. I also got to voice, you know, TV newscasters in the background. I also did Wallace sessions as well. So I got to, that's one of those rare opportunities where multiple actors can come in at a time in an anime session and kind of fill in the background, like a restaurant scene or a city. The characters have to have a conversation, but it can't be really discernible what they're talking about. It's buried deep in the mix, but an actor's sense of improv is tested. You know, we have to say, what time period is this? So we don't sit there, hey man, this is the coolest pizza I've ever had. You know, well, that doesn't make sense if it's set in the 40s.
Yeah.
You know, so we go in there and we have conversations basically with ourselves. Huddle around a mic, maybe 2, 3, 4 actors all at one time. All right, we need you to talk for 30 seconds in this scene in a restaurant. And go.
Do you slip in anything silly like that narrator from Dragon Ball Z is awesome?
Oh, I wish it were that simple. I wish we could be a little subversive about it. Unfortunately, no. We have to just stay. And sometimes, you know, if you mumble, sometimes people will drop F-bombs and stuff. It's like really discernible. What did he say? Like pull the whole Kenny from South Park thing. Mm-hmm. And some actors will giggle themselves like, what happened? And then we'll come out of the booth and then like, oh, subversive. I like it.
Okay. Can you maybe wrapping up with the last 2 questions?
Sure.
The next one probably you've already had answered, but I have to ask anyways.
Okay.
Of all the ones you've watched, which is your favorite?
Man. All the ones I've watched, which is my favorite? Ooh. You know, I really got a kick out of Harimao's Treasure, because that was the first one that I got to be on. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time I think I played an old man. And an old man, just kind of driving through the desert in a Jeep.
As old men do.
As they do. And then, of course, you know, going 100% polar opposite if Gehring, this Nazi villain henchman type character. That was the first time that I've really seen it, and I still to this day have not seen Cagliostro.
Oh,
and I know that's the one. That's the one that, you know, Miyazaki had some connection to, right? And you know, that's the one that's very beloved to the audience. So I think that I should put that on my Netflix queue if it's on there. You know.
Yeah. And now the final question. This is a hypothetical. Tomorrow you get a phone call from a director, and he goes, "Kyle, I love you and everything you've done. We got a brand new Lupin project. We want you to be one of the 5 leads. Probably not Fujiko."
That's true. Not gonna happen.
Who do you want?
Well, you know, that's the funny thing. Actors, we're whores. We just want to work. We just want to work. We just want a chance to get behind the mic and do something that we love.
You're good.
I don't get to choose what I try out for, and rarely do we even know what the project is from the get-go. We get an email or a phone call saying we'd like you to come in and audition, and if that call and said, we've got 5 main characters in this Lupin the Third special, Kyle, we'd love to hire you, they'd still probably say, okay, well, tell me about them. Who do you want to read for? There's still a matter of what's appropriate.
Right.
You know, I may want to play the dashing young 30-something, but maybe I would just be more appropriate for a 50-something cantankerous, cranky old fart and all that. But who knows? The actor has to play to their strengths, and it's up to the director to really call the shots on that.
Well, the funny thing is, for me, just having heard your sheer amount of work, and this is obviously no offense or no slight to anyone who has voiced the role prior, I think you would make an excellent Zenigata. I don't know why I could just hear you going, Lupin, stop! You're under arrest! I don't know why I could just hear you doing that, and it sounds awesome in my ears. Or
Well,
my head.
what little I've heard of the show, I think the cast in all their respective roles have really brought their A game, and I'm very proud to be amongst a community of actors that not only are awesome people, but can take the material and really do it justice.
Thank you. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thank you, sir.